Hi, this is Paul Chima, real estate broker with Remax Professional in Toronto, Canada. So, in an endeavor to promote some quality people, I'm here with one great personality. She does magic to the homes. Her name is Angel Olga, and she does awesome job, guys. For all the Up the Game members, she has given whooping 10% discount on all her services, and that can definitely buy you guys or your clients a free lunch. Okay, so let's welcome Angel Olga on this platform. Come on in, Angel.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. So
Happy
that's
to be here.
the audience watching you,
That's
and
nice.
this is a pretty face here, right? So today's hot star.
Make me shy now.
Okay, so so tell us about yourself.
I'm just like a very outgoing person, very flexible in the sense that in my business I want to enjoy what I do, but I also understand that there are a lot of changes that I'm bringing to people,
Hmm.
and that makes me very. I always wear somebody else's shoes. So I know I need to do many changes that they are not used to it, but I need to be flexible as well, taking their situation in consideration. What I mean by that is like I always assess if they are parents with little children or if they are senior people, what are the changes that I need for my job to show well, that it doesn't really impact them that much and they can still live in their place
Yes.
and still being able to show it in a better way. Because it's hard to go through the sales process as it is without even staging. And adding a staging is a stress factor, and I find that many people sometimes they feel reluctant to do the staging
Okay.
because they feel that they are not in their own place. So I try to be flexible, having that in their mind because it's still their place, right?
Yeah.
So.
So you might have guessed she is a home staging artist,
Oh.
right?
Yes.
She forgot to mention that.
I know.
She is a home staging artist, and she has a good portfolio. She has staged many houses so far. And what do your clients say after you stage their house?
They cannot believe it. Last Saturday, I did one in North York, and the before pictures were they have two little children, right? So they
Yes.
had this parquet foam for like for them to play, and it was just the living room. And then I brought more of the budget towards the living room. The lady was in tears, like she was so excited to see the place that she was like, maybe I shouldn't be selling. I said, no, this is encouraging you to keep it for the next time. You sell for a better place now. Many times they feel like, oh, I don't want to leave now.
I can relate to that.
Yes.
One of my client's house, after staging, they
Mhm.
pulled it off market.
You see?
They said they don't want to sell it.
I know.
And they didn't sell it for one complete year.
Uh-huh.
And they bought all staging artists furniture,
Yeah.
all the art pieces. It was over $15,000-$20,000.
Yes.
They all bought it, and they all dumped it after 1 year.
But they use it for a year.
They used it for 1 year. So this is what happens. So people just cannot believe the way they are living in a house.
Mhm.
But once you work your magic wand over the house, it changes the perspective.
Yes, it changes. It also brings them. I find it's not only about the staging, as I guess we were talking off record, that it's also the mood changes, the energy changes, like the way they feel about
I
themselves
like the
changes.
tone of that when you said energy changes.
Yes, the energy changes completely. They feel very positive. They feel that very encouraged that things are going to happen. So I find that when we do a staging, sometimes they feel scared that what's going to happen in the market, are we going to be able to sell it? But when they feel confident that they
Yeah.
are ready to show their house, the energy comes up, and then that's an added bonus that we don't really see it, or it's not tangible,
Yeah.
but you can feel it.
So what I mean, understand from what you're saying is that people get more confidence.
Yes.
When the house stays well.
Yes.
It's same like I am wearing new shirt today, so I
That's
feel
right.
confident, right?
Exactly,
So this
exactly.
is all in the makeup. This is all how you dress up.
Yes.
So you dress up a house.
Yes.
Make it look beautiful.
The way I see it to my clients, and I tell them so that they can relate, is like, let's pretend that we are gonna go online dating.
Yeah.
That's very popular right now. I'm not gonna put the old picture there when I had a different hairstyle or you gotta present yourself nicely so that you can get some chatting and starting and then getting a coffee out there, propose like here and there. So that's the idea. So I put it in that context so that they can understand that I'm not here to judge you, I'm here to help you.
Absolutely.
And how am I gonna help you? To look good online so that at least you get that date to go on a coffee.
So, Angel, was there ever a situation where the people whose house you were staging, they were rebellious to your ideas or suggestions? Because I think, did they ever tell you that she is intruding into our space? Does that happen quite often?
Yeah, it happened with one of my clients, and she after apologized. It was very nice, but I also understand it was a divorce situation. And, and I didn't know. I asked the realtor, but he said, "Oh, that's private stuff."
Yes,
so sometimes
because we don't disclose.
I know, but sometimes we need to know, just not for gossiping. It's just to see how tactful we need to be.
Tricky platform here.
Exactly.
So it's very slippery slope.
So then after, obviously, there was this bedding that it wasn't the size of the bed, and you could see all the mattress around. So I was suggesting I specialize in owner occupied, so we don't provide bedding because of hygiene reasons, right?
Yes.
So I was suggesting her that she would need a different bedding, and obviously that wasn't the size of the right bed.
Yeah.
And she was kind of like, "So you're telling me that I have to buy a different bedding?" I said, "I'm not really telling you. I'm suggesting you."
Right?
Yes. I'm suggesting you, and I can suggest many things, but I really cannot force you. But if we wanna aim for the results of selling the house quick, and you want to get more money, I didn't know that it was a divorce. All that it was in the consultation.
Yeah.
So she was kind of she didn't like any of the stuff that I was saying, because obviously she didn't want to add any more money to it. I didn't know what it was happening, why she was like so negative at that point with my suggestions.
Yeah, you would have no means to find out.
I had no idea, and I really didn't mean wrong when I was suggesting those things. So after we did, and I told her, you can buy it, you can send me the pictures, get these colors, let's match it with these. I gave her all the ideas, and then she started sending me the pictures. Once we did the staging, then she was telling me, "You know what, Angel, I don't think," and she was a lawyer. In addition to it.
Okay, another trouble.
I know, and I had no idea either. So after
double trouble, we call it.
Exactly. So after I was at this staging is when I'm getting to know all this information that she herself told me. You know what? I was very angry at that point, but I'm very sorry because this is a divorce situation, and I didn't realize the reason why we need to stage.
Yes.
But I'm thankful now that you told me, and I'm really happy. And she goes, and I'm happy because you know what? I'm having a new bedding that I'm gonna be using for my new place. I was like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you." But these are the things that the stories that we keep with us, and it also teaches us that it's not only our perspective. Like we don't really know sometimes the other side of the story.
Yes.
And it's difficult.
We
sometimes.
don't need to. We just need to focus on what we're there for.
I know, right? But the thing is that when we know that they are going through that stress factor, then I didn't know the reason why she was not open to it.
Yeah. So that was the only tough case you ever had.
Well, I had many more.
I think you should write a memoir and journalize those things.
We all have
if you share stories,
I know.
That will be an amazing thing to do.
I had another one, but it was a very nice story. This lady owned 4 cats, and she was by herself.
4 cats?
4 cats. So obviously she wasn't open to staging because of the cats. She didn't want to mess up with the inventory. She didn't want to bring stuff that she would be liable for it because of the cats, and it's hard sometimes to do it that way with when there are pets in the house, and especially there were 4 of them.
Yes.
So I told her, you don't really need to rent the inventory. If you want, I'll tell you what to get, and if you're open to it, you can just do it on your own budget. And that was very successful actually. She bought her own stuff. I told her, get 2 lamps, this size, these
Yeah.
things. And she bought it on her own
So
taste.
you provided her complete inventory and she did that.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I suggested the colors. Obviously, she did it with her own budget.
Yeah.
And they sold 25 over asking.
So tell me one thing. What do you see when you enter a house? Like, what comes to your mind the moment you enter any house to stage?
I always try to maximize what they already have because when I specialize in owner occupied, I don't
Yes.
want to be bringing extra stuff that I don't have to.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, what I bring is accent furnitures that are manageable for me, like side tables, lamps, rugs, and plants and stuff like that. But I try to maximize what the big ticket items are, so
Yeah.
that's what it brings the budget very high. So whatever they have, I really try to maximize it. So I go and take a very big look around. Like sometimes they have even things in the basement that I can use somewhere upstairs,
Yes.
and that saves me money on the budget.
Yes.
So at first, what I do is like I start noticing what is in the area, and when I'm collecting all my data, then by the time I go to the bedroom, then I can say, bring this up there, or bring me this one down, or take me that one that is in the basement.
Yeah.
So I try to do the whole, the main pieces that I need with what they already have.
Perfect. So basically, because I'm very bad at visualizing homes after their stay. So when you enter a house, do you see it finished in your eyes? Can you visualize the house, how it will look like after
Yes.
everything
Yes.
is done?
While I'm there, I'm already thinking what kind of a color I'm gonna work with,
Yeah.
what type of accent furniture I'm gonna need. I already know what I'm gonna need.
So you can see the house like architects can see
Yes.
the house finished, right?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. That's an amazing quality. I think that makes a perfect home stager then.
It's very nice. I don't know. I guess it's just it's a talent, right? Like I guess we
It's
are.
a talent and creativity.
Yes, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
I like that I can be creative. I like the feeling of accomplishment and the transformation. I like the fact that I can see the results, like such a quick result right away. Like sometimes we need to see results in a long process.
Yes.
But as long as you put all the pieces together, you can see the results immediately. So that's a nice thing to do.
Other than realtors asking you to stage a home, do people also call you directly to set up their houses?
Yes. The lady with the cats was a direct client.
Oh, she just wanted her house to be set right.
Yes, because she knew me, like, and the realtor offered the staging, but she says, I know someone who does it.
Okay.
So she was a direct client. I've had a couple of direct clients that they have paid directly, but it
Yeah.
all depends on the packages that you guys offer as well, right?
Yeah.
Some
So what
people-
areas? Sorry. So yeah, go ahead. I cut you off.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you. Some people don't want to do the staging in a rental basis, and they want to do it as a personal shopping, and I've done that too. Like some people want to
So you go out with them,
Yes,
help them shop stuff.
exactly. So they get to keep it. It's a staging, but it's also in the sense that they are going to get to keep the items.
Do you charge for your time then?
I do.
So
I
when they
do.
take you for shopping?
Yes, I do, and I can go with them in their house,
Yeah,
in their
because it
car.
will be a full day shopping.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, it's
But-
shopping is not easy.
Some people don't wanna. They don't have a big car and it doesn't fit everything. Then I can use my car. So it depends. Like all I wanna do is be flexible,
Yeah.
so that they don't get so straightforward. It has to be this way.
Good
Like
to
if
know
they
that.
have a different idea,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about communication with the real estate.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Do
So I
real
did
estate
that.
give you trouble?
No, sometimes. Sometimes. See, I guess the trouble comes when we are not in alignment with what the value is.
Yes.
When you know the value that you're bringing to the table, then it's all about communication. I don't find it that is a trouble, but when people don't really see value in it, then there's a huge different disconnect. But if you already know that there's value in a staging, then it's a matter of
Well, staging is
Changing
always
people.
valuable. It's only that some people cannot afford it.
I
What is the
think
estimated budget, let's say, for 2,000 square foot house?
For showcasing,
Just an average ballpark.
I
We will
do
not use that
showcasing.
against you. I'm just taking as an indication.
Depends because sometimes I would say around 1,000, 1,000. It could be 1,000, 1,200.
Yeah.
But that money I try to allocate it, and sometimes it can be manageable. And you might tell me, Angel, I only have 800. So I said, okay. So Paul, the main areas of opportunities in this house is the living room and the master room.
Yeah, I was coming to that. I was
So-
coming to that. That was my next question. Hold on to that thought for the time
Okay.
being. so yeah, let's get to the same question you're just about to tell.
Mhm.
What do you think makes people buy a house when they enter?
It's a combination of all the feelings. I always tell my clients, it's not only the visual feeling, it's the senses. So I even tell them be positive because when you're arguing and all that, the intangible
You bring
things.
negative energy
Yes,
to the house.
and I always say it
Yeah.
in my consultations, be positive. In whatever you believe, put it out there. Do praying or meditation, whatever it is, because that will be helping the realtor to get
Very
what
nice,
you want.
very spiritual.
I feel that way.
Were you an accountant before?
No.
Okay, because you use certain words that are accounting words.
Really?
Tangible, intangible. We talk those in terms of assets.
Oh, no. Well, I guess because that's what I go with that. So
Yeah.
that's what I live with on daily basis. So I try to transfer that to them. But coming back to what your question was, I tell them about the smell. It's the smell, it's the noises, it's everything. Everything that is senses, I
Yeah.
guess that's what it would impact. So I always tell them keep everything neutral. Even the air refresheners, people sometimes don't like it, right? So sometimes we wanna try to do better, and we end up harming the.
Well, people with asthmatic situations or breathing problems, they may not
Exactly.
like the idea
Exactly.
of those aerosols in the
No.
property, right?
I
It can
always
harm them.
suggest cleaning with vinegar or baking soda, trying to keep it very neutral,
Yes.
minimizing the smells, minimizing the noises. Lighting is a big thing because it's very visual. And I always tell them, you never know why they didn't write the offer. Maybe it was that switch that they couldn't find in that basement that it got them all frustrated.
Yes.
And all they remember was, oh, that house that I couldn't find the switch.
So basically, what you're saying, other than staging, homeowners should also keep a positive attitude.
I strongly believe in
How
that.
do you think the music helps? A showing is happening and then there's light music playing in the background. Does that add to, because you use the word senses?
I do like it, but it has to be very subtle. It
Rock
cannot
music,
be.
drum beat, da 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 da. Okay.
It cannot be a distraction.
A subtle,
Very, very, like hardly like you hear, but you don't hear it.
like kind of meditation.
Yes, like maybe the natural ones or something that is very, like it's there, but it's not there. That kind of a feeling.
Was there any case in your career
Mhm.
when the house was sitting on the market for a long time, then another agent took over? It was not staged before, but when you took over, you staged it because you were asked to stage it. Did you see any remarkable difference in the number of days it sold in?
Well, the previous one to this one that I just did, this actually was the neighbor of the one that just sold in North York.
Okay,
But that one was on the market like a year ago.
okay.
And that realtor never even brought the staging to the plate. Like the
So it
lady
was
didn't.
as is.
As is, yes. It was very challenging. I had to work with orange walls.
Ah, beautiful color.
Amazing. And the sofa,
Well asked, the seller.
the couches were kind of like blue or dark. It was kind of bluish, like dark.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, what am I gonna do with this? But it's
Paint the walls.
they didn't want to.
They wanted.
And that's the biggest challenge. Like I like the challenge because I have to take the challenge.
You know what? I
based
would
on
love
that.
to see those pictures if you have.
I do have them. They are not in my taste or even, but I work with what I had.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
work with what I had, and she was fascinated actually. Like they got to sell it. but they didn't put any extras. Like they didn't want to paint, they didn't want to do anything. So I had to work with what
You
they
work
had.
with this, Angel. We are not doing any damn
No,
thing here.
they said we are
Alright.
not doing anything. We are going to
Was
the
it
States.
lack of money or lack of intention or what?
Lack of intention, because she wanted to reunite with her husband that was already working in the States,
Okay.
and she was by herself here, and she says, I cannot afford to have painters and this thing, like I'm all by myself. So I also understand that.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
the
we are all
reason why.
same kind of thinking individuals.
Yeah,
More or
especially
less, yeah.
we need to take that in consideration. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I can suggest, let's paint, let's do this, let's do that. But if that doesn't really make sense for them, we just take it whatever. Their input is very valuable because I want them to be on my same page as well.
So tell me what happened when you staged it after that. Did it sell quick?
They sold under a month.
Aha.
They sold under a month. And she was calling her daughters and their husband and said, Mommy, why we never thought of that? Look at that. The houses don't look that bad.
Well, that would be really interesting to see if you could share those pictures.
Yes, I can.
And if you have rights to share the pictures.
Yes, we
basically.
do.
So
Well,
they are your
when-
pictures
Yes, because when we do the staging jobs, that's part of what we
before and after
yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Beautiful. That's awesome thing. So what are the important steps in your staging process?
The main thing is decluttering,
Ah, okay.
because that's part of what I do in the assessment on the consultation. What needs to be decluttered.
That's
And
very big part, I guess.
it is, and I've noticed. I've had projects where the declutter has been massive, like it's getting out of control, and when it's that big, it's very hard for homeowners to even start thinking, how am I going to do it? So I had a couple of consultations that they didn't go through because the main step was declutter, and it was way beyond what they could handle,
Yes.
and it
Was
didn't
kind
didn't
of
turn out.
hoarder's house kind of stuff?
Not not at the level of that, but it was like 20 bags on top of the garage door
Yeah.
that have meant to be donated, and they've been sitting there for months. So now they are
And that's a big
thinking.
hindrance in your staging. You can't
Yes.
do that anything unless that is done.
Exactly, that's like
Yeah.
taking a shower and getting
Yeah.
dressed. Like you need that first. And what I noticed is that, for instance, in that case, they didn't move forward with the staging because they just froze. Like
So
they cannot move forward.
poor realtor, I would say. You must have been through a lot of hassles after that.
Yes, I don't think that they end up getting the listing going because with that there was no, like the rooms were overpacked with a lot of things. I couldn't reposition the furniture, so many things had to be done before that. So I even reached out to him to ask him if they were willing to get the decluttering packages, because we can do declutter with them, obviously, because
All right. So you will arrange for the whole declutter. They will mark the stuff.
I will
you
tell
will
them,
tell them?
I will tell
Okay.
them what I need to be removed, but I can also help them to, let's take it to the storage, or let's put it here. And if they need assistance with more people, I can bring more people
And you
too.
bill them later.
We get paid as we go.
Or you get paid as because you
On the
have labor.
declutter, because usually I find that the homeowner needs to be putting something as well.
Yeah, either effort or money.
Yes.
Either
I
of
co-
those two things.
Either or, because
Yeah.
when you get everything on silver plate, you're not compromising
Nobody
yourself.
understands it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and there's no
it's your
value.
time too. So we are all professionals. Our time is money. That's
Of
what we
course.
always bank on, right?
Exactly.
So you gave us 10% discount. That's why
Yes.
I'm putting this time in for you.
Yes, thank you for that.
So decluttering is the first step.
Yes.
What comes next?
After we declutter, then if there are repairs, then we have to wait for the repairs to be done,
So you suggest
Whether-
them these things. to
if
be-
they are willing to do it.
Absolutely.
Such as
Without willingness,
painting.
nothing works.
Exactly, such
Yeah.
as painting or lighting or something. And then when everything is done and it's time for staging, we don't really want to have delays, because if I'm saying I'm there at 10, I want to start right away.
Yes.
And that's when we allocate the time for staging.
Unless you mix up 8 a.m. with 1 p.m.
Oh yeah, I know. Is that an
Okay, we
inside
won't
joke?
talk about
Is that
that.
an inside joke?
It's inside joke. Yeah, we won't tell anyone.
We won't tell anybody.
That threw us off by at least 3 weeks. or
Yes.
4 weeks, I guess.
Yes.
All right. So decluttering, repairs, if they have to do anything, then
Mhm.
start your part.
Yes.
Do you prefer homeowners to be in the property when you're staging,
I don't
or
mind
you don't mind it?
I don't mind it as long as they know that they need to give me my own space.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because sometimes there are beddings that at that point I might do some switch here and there, and I prefer someone to be there so that they can guide me. I really don't mind if someone is at home.
All right. So these are the major steps there. So are there also instances where people just want your consultation? They
Yes.
say, well, we are DIY couple.
Yes.
You tell us what to do and we'll handle the
Yes,
rest of
why
it."
not? I can do that too, and I just tell
And
them.
you charge for that.
Yes, we always charge for consultation actually, because I found that before, when I was so eager and passionate that I just want to do it and I want to help and I want to help, I end up running like chicken with no head
Yes,
and
yes,
going for
yes.
free to million places.
And they love you for that.
Yes,
Yes,
and
all
nothing was
hugs.
happening. And nothing was happening.
All hugs and no meals.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So we need to eat as well, right?
So on an average, if you ever track you by track, you would always know that.
Hmm.
How fast homes stays by you sell? Give me a range.
Less than a month.
Less than
A month. If the price is right,
That tells me she is good.
if the price is right and
Yeah.
everything has been done and all that, it's around a month.
Is your staging on a monthly basis or it's a one-time package till it sells?
That's a very good question. For broker package partnership that I have, I would do 60 days rental.
Okay.
But that's only on a broker that is committed to have your listing requires a staging. I'm the only stager that is
Yes.
gonna come and do the staging for you. And then we do owner occupied, and that's showcasing based on what we have discussed before. So for that broker package partnership, I would do 60 days.
So Angel, do you have any liability coverage on your business? Like something goes wrong at the property, are you responsible for anything?
Under $5,000 projects, I don't use the
Liability?
the liability. It will be under me. But so far, thank God, I haven't had to use
Like
anything.
I'm asking you because let's say you put something up, a rug kind of thing,
Mhm.
and someone trips over it,
Mhm.
falls, breaks his head,
Oh,
loses
then
his job.
I know what you mean.
Lose his job because he can't go to jobs. Freak accidents do happen.
Yes, yes.
Because I can tell you this, there are certain carpets, if you put foot on that, they just slip under it.
Mm-hmm. We use the pad underneath
Yeah.
as well, and I take in but I do have it. But I also have in consideration, for instance, when there are children in the house, I avoid glass at all costs.
Yes.
Depends on who's living in the place. I
Yes.
also do the decor based on who's living in that place as well.
Because like home inspectors, they carry a liability insurance.
Yes.
Something
Mhm.
goes wrong, okay, we'll
Yes.
do that. When you are moving people's stuff,
Yes,
they need to know that their stuff will not be damaged.
of course.
Then your moving companies have those things,
Yes.
but you don't carry any exclusive liability coverage.
I do have it, but I'm just saying that if they want it, then of course. But if that's under 5,000,
Also, you buy only on property
yes,
basis.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So every property, if they want it, you can buy them liability
Exactly.
coverage.
Exactly.
All right, wonderful. So, are home stagers accredited by any institution?
No,
So they are not.
no.
So there are no codes of ethics or workability or
No.
whatever.
You don't even require certification. I did the certification, but you don't really require certification.
But do you prefer certification? Does it change your perspective?
I do think so, because we speak a lot about the professionalism and what is
Wonderful.
expected outside. We talk a lot about you guys, how the relationship should be with. It's different than if I'm just sitting in my living room thinking I'm gonna be a stager. So whether it's not really like a exam the way you guys go through it and all that, we still get the insight of what the industry is out there. So I find
Yeah.
that is valuable at least to have the certification. That's the most that you can get
Yes.
in the stager field. But it doesn't. People don't really require, but it's a good to have, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I strongly recommend people should be trained on
Yes.
and off, because when you think that you know everything, this is when it becomes your downfall.
The good thing is also that where I got certified, we can always go back, and they are our mentors. So
Yeah.
if I have any question or if I'm having some difficulty or something, I can always go back to the academy,
Yes.
and there's feedback that they can provide or they can assist us. So there's always a source point of information or documentation that I can rely on.
Perfect. Perfect. Is there anything else you want to add to the whole interview?
No, I'm just like very happy that we had the opportunity to meet and have this interview finally, because of me,
That's
not
okay.
because of you.
That's okay.
And I just want to help. I mean, we are here to grow. I guess everybody is
Yes.
in the field to grow. We are not taking it as a hobby. So the idea is, you wash my hand, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Like, it's about helping each other
Absolutely.
and growing gradually.
What areas do you cover?
I live in Mississauga, so the areas that I ideally would like to cover is Brampton, Milton, Georgetown, Hamilton, Mississauga, obviously.
Mostly Greater
Burlington.
Toronto area. Do you go to Ajax, Oshawa side too?
I was gonna say I've been there anyway, so because if I'm having a partnership agreement with you and you have a listing there, then I don't want to leave you outside of that.
Awesome. That's
so
wonderful.
I've done it.
So because in the up the game, I guess there are realtors from US as well, Florida. Will you go
Oh.
to Florida?
If I get a ticket, let's go. I don't think that is worth it to travel with all that
Travel
inventory
with
there.
all the inventory on plane, a
Yeah.
chartered plane for Angel Olga. And Angel's business has a very sashy name to it. And what was the name of your business?
Angels Living Spaces.
Angel's Living Spaces. Angel's Living Spaces sells the house faster, less than 1 month. We just heard her saying that. And we are going to hold her accountable, provided provided you price the home right and reasonable. Your clients are understanding about the pricing and your other marketing strategy, right?
Yes.
So with that, we are ending this conversation. Once again,
Thank you so
welcome
much for
here.
having me.
We'll keep bringing you back on this platform
Thank
with any
you.
new ideas.
Okay, sounds great.
Alrighty?
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Now go get some business going. Bye-bye.